Intuition Explained, 4 signs that it's not just your thoughts. Hello and good morning and welcome back. I thought I would take just a moment today to talk about our intuition and then our fear and anxiety in our brain and how to tell the difference between the two of them. Let's first start with a quick definition of what your intuition is. For me, intuition is the meeting point of your mind and your body and your spirit. It is an inner knowing. It is the connection between you and the universe that offers you more guidance on your life. Your intuition empowers you to step into who you are more fully. Ultimately, the journey to your intuition, to connecting to that deep sense of self and to that outer expanse of the universe, is really about a journey to knowing yourself more fully. You can't become a really good expert in your own intuition unless you know yourself. So, a lot of the exercises that I do around learning about your intuition are also about trusting yourself, trusting the messages that come through, knowing your own self worth, understanding your emotions as they come, so that when your intuition really does come and speak to you, you can know that it's the truth. Today, I want to talk about the 4 senses that work with your intuition, and maybe more importantly, how to tell that from your own thoughts, your own fears, your own anxiety. The first feeling is feeling. So when my intuition works with me, for me, it almost feels like a gentle settling in my gut, a rightness, a kind of like, feeling. There's a little bit of an exhale that happens in my body. For some, this might also come as a calmness that comes over or a tingling. You may feel that in your body. Some positive sensation that you get that has you feeling a certain way to know, this is your intuition. Fear and anxiety can come very sharp at you. It can feel like a clenching of your gut or a rolling unease, a tightness of your shoulders. It can feel very sharp in your body. Let's do a little exercise for a second. Think about something that you truly are fearful of. For me, I do not like heights. And for me, that means that my knees start to shake whenever I get close to kind of that edge. Just feel into the sensation of what that fear feels like in your body and then hold it for a second. Now feel into what it feels like when you have felt your intuition working or you've felt something that just feels right. Let that sensation kind of take over your body. Number 2 is knowing. I'm going to cheat a little bit and use words here, but your intuition often comes to you with a simple statement of, I know that. Even if you don't know how to finish the sentence, if you start that sentence and then just let the spirit world, let yourself, let your own higher self kind of unfold your intuition, that answer will sometimes come to you. The opposite of that is your fear and anxiety. If you're hearing, what if, and then, those are definitely not your intuition thoughts. That is your own mind taking over and playing out scenarios and doing the great job that it does of protecting you from harm, from pain, etc. But that is not your intuition. That would be your fear coming to talk to you. Number 3 is hearing. Your intuition speaks very quietly. It is not shouting. It will do its darndest to be as quiet as possible. I tell this story that someone I know who is very in tune with their own intuition had a house fire, and their intuition, spirit guides, whatever you want to call it, woke them up with, your house is on fire. Your house is on fire. Just that loud. So if spirit is speaking to you in an emergency that loud, imagine what it's like when they're just telling you, hey, it's probably time for you to stop doing this thing or get a new job. This relationship is really a good thing for you. Those whispers are going to come very quiet. The other thing to note is the speed. So when I ask a question of spirit, I often get the answer before I've finished asking the question. So if you have sat in the power, you have connected to spirit and then posed that question, and the answer comes to you before it's even done, you know that's your own intuition speaking. Fear, on the other hand, sounds loud, sounds repetitive. It sounds like a spiraling, and often it's not saying anything positive to you. It's playing out every single scenario. So if you're hearing something that sounds really loud in your ear, know that that is not your intuition speaking. Number 4 is seeing. If you're a very visual person, you may get some images from your intuition as visuals. Note that this is usually comes up as an image or a symbol or even like a movie scene playing out in your mind. Generally speaking, it flashes pretty quickly and then it's gone. Occasionally, I have had images repeat from my intuition, but that's usually because I have not acknowledged them. Once you say, "Yep, I saw it," then it won't come back. If you're getting kind of a movie playing in your mind, worst case scenario, and it's getting louder and repeating and taking you to places that don't feel like yourself, that is definitely your own fear, thoughts, and anxiety taking over. Now let's do a little exercise. I want you to think back to a moment where you felt like your intuition was really connecting, that you got a really great message for yourself, whatever that might be. Now, it may have even been just as simple as walking down the street and feeling and sensing someone in front of you and like, don't talk to that person, or meeting someone and knowing they're going to be your best friend for the rest of your life. I want you to pay attention to where you felt that in your body, how you felt like you knew, what you saw, what you heard. How did that play out for you, that message? And just kind of play that back in your mind for a second and notice all of the senses that I just talked about. I'll give you a minute. Great job. What sense stood out most to you? The reason why I asked that is these are actually the clairs that we're working with. And it's important for you to know which clair is most dominant for you. It's helpful down the line if you've gotten a message one way to expect the message to repeat that way with your intuition. One of the biggest hurdles in intuition practice is trusting yourself. Give yourself the permission to know the most about you. This is not about fixing what's broken in you. This is about seeing the roadblocks in your own life and navigating appropriately for what resonates with you, yourself, and your higher self. Opening yourself up to an intuition practice makes you vulnerable. You are allowing messages to come through from the higher self, from the universe, and that can feel very uncomfortable in the beginning. You do not have to do this alone. One of my biggest tips to you is to find a community that you can share these practices in. Find that group of people to support you through this and talk through all of these senses that you're feeling. Surrender to the process and learn from the community of people around you. As a bonus, here's 3 quick tips on trusting your own intuition. Number 1, when you get a message, even if it's a feeling, even if it's an image, write it down. What was the feeling? What was the message? Write it down. When did that happen? What were you thinking about? Any and all details. It's a really good idea to kind of track the responses that you're getting and then go back and look at those responses and kind of line up to things that really resonated, that were true for you. You can also see kind of what your hit rate was, what the percentage of right messages you really got versus the ones that didn't quite resonate. And sometimes it's that they didn't quite resonate yet. Tip number 2 is to start small and use a tool. What I mean by start small is don't have the first question be, what should I do with my life? That is a very big open-ended question. I would recommend starting with, what do I need for my day today? What emotion is most important? As a subset of this, I would recommend using tools. If you have an oracle deck or a pendulum or something along those lines that can give you a little bit of guidance without you having that direct connection with the spirit world, with your own intuition, sometimes that can be helpful, especially when navigating personal issues. And my third and final tip is practice. Practice, practice, practice. So as you're practicing all of these senses, you're writing down all of the messages that you're getting from your own intuition, your own higher self. You are using tools that are helping you. My suggestion is then to go practice with a friend. Get some validation about what's happening with them, and they can validate what's happening with you. But that repetition, that practice over time will help you hone in on exactly how your connection works, which senses work best for you. I have so enjoyed giving you these tips, and I hope this helps you kind of develop your own intuition and that trust within yourself. I'm Emily Snyder of Connected Intuition. As always, stay open, stay curious, and stay connected with Connected Intuition. See you next time.